Should college athletes be paid? That's a great question. Last year, the University of Alabama made $28 million from ticket sales. The University of Florida, $21 million. That's a lot of money. How come the players don't see a single cent of that? Well, don't they? Purdue Athletic Director Morgan Burke estimated a full scholarship to Purdue to be worth $250,000. I thought they weren't being paid. Well, they aren't being paid salaries, but how do you think other students go to school at Purdue? They pay for education, books, living, food, all the other expenses of college normal students have to pay for. Athletes get all that and more. They also get free coaching to maybe send them to the next level and play professionally in their sport. They get free medical consultation, media consultation, not to mention the fame around campus, the national exposure to pro sports teams, free bowl game gifts, and more. All for free. So it's hard to argue that these athletes don't get paid. But it's not just the fact that athletes pretty much are being paid already. There are many reasons why athletes don't receive salaries in college today. For starters, colleges were made for academics, not athletics. NCAA President Mark Emmert is quoted as saying, "Rather than push college athletics further and further from academics, we need to try to bring them closer together." There's a reason he says that. Of all college athletes, almost none will go pro. Of all the athletics, baseball leads the way with nearly 11% of athletes going pro in that sport. Of all the other sports, less than 2% of them will go pro. And the ones who do make it, well, they're going to want something to fall back on as well. 78% of NFL players go broke 3 years after retirement. That's with an average salary of $1.9 million. 60% of NBA players go broke 4 years after retirement. That's with an average base salary of $5.5 million. An ancient Chinese proverb says, "Feed a man a fish, he'll eat for a day. Teach a man to fish, he'll eat for a lifetime." These athletes need to learn how to fish and get an education, so once their playing days are over, they'll have something to fall back on. So the few players that do make it to the pros are going to wish their focus was on academics rather than on athletics when they were in college, which would be virtually impossible in this minor league system where we pay players to go to college and play football. Lastly, if these players want to be paid to play sports, they can be, in the pros. While most of them aren't good enough to make it this far, the ones who are good enough have all the resources at their disposal. They have the coaching, the training, the medical staff, the facilities, and all the national exposure in the world to all the professional sports teams. All for free. However, that 98% that don't make it in the pros, well, they're going to wish they had that education to fall back on when they realize that not everybody makes it in the pros, and good job opportunities come from a good education. So in the meantime, let's keep the payment with the pro athletes. Let the college students focus on their education. People may argue, well, the players make all that money for these schools, how come the schools get to just pocket all of it? Well, the schools don't just pocket all that money. Where do you think the nice training facilities and brand new weight room and beautiful turf fields come from? All of that money. Again, this money hasn't been given to these players through a cash or a check or any form of salary, but it's given to them in many other ways. These new fields, these new stadiums, these new weight rooms, all of these are forms of how this money is being given back to these players and benefits them. It's not just sitting in the athletic director's pocket at the end of the year. I think I've made my point clear. These kids do not need to be paid. Their scholarship provides them with everything they could dream of. Plus, their focus needs to be on education anyways. But hey, if you want to get paid, be my guest. In the professionals. But in the meantime, let's go to class and focus on what's really important, which is getting a job once the playing days are over. Thank you.